Hi.
Right, this is weird. This is like my 30th birthday party all over again. They told me it was just pieces of camera. That's why you didn't ring me. You just ring, have we call after training and all. Nothing today.
You're so weird when you're in shock.
What do you mean I'm so weird? Like, that's what shock is. It's very normal. It's not, yeah.
So Jonny, we're here today ahead of your 100th cap. Big moment in your career. Go back to the debut though in 2006. I'm not sure if anybody knows this story. How did your first cap come about and what was the significance of Terry Gibson in that?
I think Terry's son had been playing football manager, championship manager, and he had seen that I was playing football at Antwerp at the time and recommended to bring me into the squad. And obviously I didn't know this until maybe 5 or 6 years later. So at the time I wasn't really aware of this kind of like story happening and going on, but that's kind of how it came about. And football manager, or champ manager, whatever you want to call it, had a heavy defeat against Iceland, and I think they wanted to bring another player in, a young lad, and I think that's when Terry's son said, "Oh, Jonny's playing for the under-21s, he's here at the minute, so bring him in, have a look at him," and ended up playing the next game.
Talking of highs, your first goal, that was in a 3-2 win against Poland, 2009 at Windsor. What do you remember about that goal?
I think we'd just come out for the second half. It was the start of the second half, and I think we got a corner early on, and I don't even think half the fans had sort of been back in their seats yet. It was kind of how early it sort of seemed at the time, and balls come in, and I've managed to, I think it's come right across. It was really bad weather that day, very, very windy, and I've managed to get on the end of it, a bit of a tap in, and I remember David Healy at the time sort of telling me to up my celebration a bit more, give a bit more to the cop.
How many years ago was that? That has not worked.
It's not changed. No, I think he wanted me to enjoy the moment. I think it was I think he knew obviously scoring for Northern Ireland and you know how big of a thing it was. Obviously I was young at the time, probably thought I'd score plenty more. So he was, telling me to enjoy the moment and give the bit to the cop.
What's it like scoring at home in front of the crowd and sometimes family? Because 4 out of 5 goals have been at home.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Czech Republic. Who's the other ones? Belarus.
Czech Republic again.
That was away, yeah.
And Cyprus.
Yes, Cyprus. I mean, I think...
Which was another anticlimax. Yeah. Because you scored and didn't celebrate.
See, Helen wasn't happy because she wanted me to come celebrate.
No, the kids were like so excited. They just wanted them to enjoy the moment. And we were like, did he actually score? What's just gone on?
I think in the context of it, it was a last-minute equaliser, and it's hard to celebrate a last-minute equaliser. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Probably, I wish I'd probably enjoyed those moments a bit more, and it's always difficult in the game, especially as a defender. You're in the back of your mind. You're conscious of it was my job to not concede, and well, being able to celebrate with your family and see all your family in the crowd is it's an unbelievable feeling.
And they were all there at the Euros, which I know I'm speaking on your behalf, but probably the highlight of your career in all football. Yeah. Would you say that?
Yes, definitely. I think what came with the Euros was probably a different dimension of emotion, I suppose. Being able to share that with everyone you feel like you've grown up with your whole life, and family members, friends, and just everyone involved in the country and what it meant to everyone. And yeah, it was I think it was by far the best experience I've had in football.
I think after you actually said it was the best 3 weeks of your life.
I remember this. And obviously Helen wasn't there with me every day, so...
No. And would already had a child and got married by then, but that's fine.
What are you even doing here?
Sorry, I know. Talking about emotions, you did cry quite a lot after that Leon game, didn't you?
Yeah.
And in the changing room after?
Yeah, well, like I say, it probably brought out an emotion in me that I probably didn't know existed. I've always been... I've cried at sad things before, but I think this was like more of a first time probably, maybe not the first time of the kids being born, but tears of emotion like that, and happiness, and obviously you're drained after as well, so everything kind of comes out. And it was probably even after the Euros, I remember coming back here. We went to the new museum at Windsor Park, and they played a clip of Jerry Armstrong scoring against Spain all them years ago, and I don't know how many times I watched that clip, but for some reason after the Euros, when they played that clip, I could feel myself welling up and getting emotional. I don't know why. Watching Jerry Armstrong score like 30 years ago.
Oh, he'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think, like I said, I think it was a whole added thing, and everyone sort of being involved and getting to experience that. I think sometimes on the pitch and as a player, like you have your teammates, you don't always feel like you get to experience that with everyone. But I felt like with the Euros we did, the whole country really.
Do you think as well that shows you yourself what playing for Northern Ireland actually means to you? Not that you ever would have doubted that, but in a moment like that you realise how big it is to play for Northern Ireland. It
probably wasn't until then really. I've had different moments, during the national anthem when we're standing at Windsor, and we're normally always facing the stand where all our families sit. Always looking for you, obviously, Helen. But you get to see your family in the crowd, and that always has made me emotional before when the national anthem goes on. But that Euros experience, like I said, brought out something different.
And for you, you've got family beside you as well. It was on the 11th of August 2011 in a 2-0 friendly defeat to Montenegro, where Corey lined up for his full international alongside you. Do you think that you kind of take that for granted sometimes, and that maybe in 10 years you'll look back and think, whoa, that was incredible that you both played together?
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's for two brothers to do that for Northern Ireland is phenomenal, and you forget that sometimes. When I feel so fortunate that we've been able to experience that together, because not many brothers do. In a footballing family, we're lucky that we've had great experiences together, and even coming over here on this trip, meeting up at the airport. I know it's the simple things, but you get to sit beside my brother on the flight on the way to go and represent your country. It's special. What
has motivated you to continue?
I think you get that sense of feeling that you're playing for someone else, and it's quite a nice feeling. And playing for your family and friends. I feel like now with the kids, them coming to be able to watch me at Windsor, and the happiness that brings them, and the excitement that they get going to watch, and obviously yourself, you obviously love watching me playing for Northern Ireland. So it's all about that, and just everyone, the people, you feel like you're doing it for your country.
Thank you, Jonny. Was that a nice surprise?
It was, Helen. Good to see you.
So things are starting to make sense now, though. This is what happened.
What?
During the interview, I was like, something clicked on me, and I was like, that's why she said that.
See, she gets away with everything. I don't know. So many questions.